So White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt announced that the Associated Press has been banned from the Oval Office for not honoring the recent renaming of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Take a look.
It is a privilege to cover this White House. It's a privilege
Facts.
to be the White House press secretary.
Facts.
And nobody has the right to go into the Oval Office and ask the President of the United States questions. That's an invitation that is given.
Right.
And there are hundreds of outlets on this campus, many of you in this room who don't have the privilege of being part of that pool every single day and getting to ask the President questions. We reserve the right to decide who gets to go into the Oval Office, and you all have credentials to be here, including the Associated Press, who is in this briefing room today.
It's some areas that y'all allowed in.
Yeah.
In some areas you come on an invitation. We have to invite you to come into the Oval Office.
Yeah.
You don't have a right to that. I don't know who told you that, but they lied to you.
Yeah, you have a right to where we tell you.
So, the White House Correspondents Association released a statement, and it said the White House cannot dictate how news organizations report the news, nor should it penalize working journalists because it is unhappy with their editors' decisions. And the AP is signaling legal action, calling this a violation of their First Amendment rights. Now,
The woman just told you you have no right to the Oval Office.
At all.
You have zero right
Zero right to that
to
office.
that. And the fact that you think that, I'm not even impressed. I know that what she's saying is true, that you
Yeah.
have a right to the Oval Office. So why don't they know that? You know, everyone's just trying to sue Trump at this point.
It seems like everybody is just being habitual line crossers at this
Yes.
point. And they're trying to see how far it can go.
Yeah, it's like at this point, Trump got more lawsuits than Diddy. And Diddy's getting lawsuits every day.
Yeah, it's getting messy.
It's crazy.
their First Amendment rights. Now, and the reason I got to read that is because I said, you know, it's so funny. I haven't seen it reported anywhere else. I haven't seen that piece of information anywhere else.
What, that it's illegal?
That the AP said, that they said, listen, we're not standing for this.
Right. Yeah.
That's a huge, you know, and because I was saying to Robin, I said, you know, they all.
That's like saying that we're going to sue Donald Trump because he was in the White House and he didn't let us in his bedroom to ask him questions.
Yeah. There's areas that are off limits.
We got areas for media. If
Yeah.
we bring you right here, it's a privilege.
Yeah,
It's a
we
big
got
difference.
areas for visitors. Their visitors aren't welcome in all areas, not even media areas.
Yeah.
So, yes, there are places that are off limits.
Yeah.
all need to get together and push back. You can't do it one at a time. She said, no. And then she gave me that piece of information. So are they right?
Yes, they are. I mean, we do have the Constitution still, at least in the United States. And, you know, I think the First Amendment is the First Amendment because it's one of the most important amendments, right? And it's freedom of speech. It's the most important, arguably. And the press is the direct.
What do freedom of speech have to do with you having access to the Oval Office?
Yeah, they're just. I mean, that's one of those things that you really can't argue. You're talking about the Oval Office. There are places that are just off limits.
Yeah.
There are places you need clearances to
Yes.
be. There are places that you're just not welcome.
Unless you're invited.
Yeah,
direct check for the government overreach. It's the direct check. It's the press reports to the American people the facts of what is really happening. Or, you know, and so I think there's no question that the AP should defend its constitutional rights. And what the Trump can, I guess, certainly bar people from the Oval Office, but what they cannot do is tell people what they can say. They cannot do it. And one last thing, the AP.
I don't remember nobody saying nobody would tell somebody what they could say. They should have played that clip.
yeah,
Because I didn't see that.
yeah. I thought she was going somewhere with her segue about the freedom of speech, but like,
She went nowhere fast.
yeah, when she said about saying like if people were being censored or something, I was like, it's kind of a reach right there.
Style guide is many newsrooms across the country follow the AP's style guide, and it was published on January 23rd of this year after the executive order. And what it said was renaming the Gulf of Mexico is one thing, but Trump's order only carries authority within the United States, and other countries do not have to recognize the change. And so they're reporting it accurately.
So I disagree with barring the Associated Press. When I worked in the White House, I always fought for media access, both at home and abroad when we were traveling.
You disagreed with what?
With the decision to bar the Associated Press from being in the Oval Office. I don't actually hate renaming the Gulf of America, and I'm going to tell you why. It's a more inclusive term. It is North America. Mexico and the United States are part of the Americas. It would be petty if he called it the Gulf of the United States by basically saying it's our countries, it's not yours. But these are the things Donald Trump does to trigger reaction from the media, so they cover this and pay more attention than we're wholesale getting rid of government agencies or we're confirming Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence. I'm perfectly fine with it, and I'm perfectly fine with the AP covering it how they think they should.
In that case,
I was with her because out of everybody on here on the episodes that we covered, she be seeming like she got the most common sense, but I don't like the pictures that she's trying to paint right now. I'm just saying that he be doing stuff like this so you could look over here and don't look over here at what's being done. Every day there's being press conferences held, and he's telling you everything that is going on step by step. It is being covered and everyone is looking.
It's just that things are happening so fast at such an alarming rate.
Yes.
It can become overwhelming.
Yeah.
That's just the straight up truth to it.
Because he's moving at warp speed, and every hours something else coming. He met with India. This happened. Met with Putin. This we appointed this.
It's
person.
not like he did something today and then next week he did something. It's like he did something. He made a move today, and a couple hours later he made another move.
It'd be saying like 5 or 6 moves is being made every day at this point.
this country that we're in was settled by indigenous people, right? Mm-hmm. And yet they named the country after an Italian white man, Amerigo Vespucci.
Yeah.
That's what America is named after. Amerigo Vespucci, a white European. Why is it named after a white man?
Well, let me ask
Well, it
you
was settled by indigenous people.
Well, let me just add some color, because I didn't know how common it was.
You know what I mean? What the hell I got to do with Trump?
Yeah.
What the hell do I have to do with Trump? Trump wasn't around when that decision was made.
You know, I'm really open-minded when watching them talk, and I just keep finding myself being like, where are you going with this?
They give you great content because the stuff that be coming out of their mouths, it's just crazy.
It's like sometimes I think I'm giving them more than the benefit of the doubt, because they start off well,
trying to be
and
unbiased.
I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna go in this direction, and then they go somewhere totally.
We come into these videos completely unbiased, but from the stuff that come out their mouth, it kind of make us seem like we're biased.
It'll make you seem biased
Because the stuff they say. Like, they talk to people, for people, to me, it seemed like that's not highly intelligent.
Yeah.
You can't talk to intelligent people and just tell them anything and think they're going to go for it.
Yeah, I'm not just gonna believe it.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it was settled by indigenous people.
Well, let me just add some color, because I didn't know how common it was. Sorry, color, context, all the things. But so technically, it is okay to rename this. Different people have, Cuba, Mexico, and the U.S. have claims, depending on whether you're talking about conservation or otherwise, hundreds of miles out into the sea. This actually happens in the global economy or country. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So the body of water south of China, which much of the world calls the South China Sea, China calls it South Sea, Vietnam calls it Eastern Sea, and Philippines has designated parts of it the West Philippine Sea. So it happens. I needed to know that because I was like, why would you wide swath it? And Google and GPS things will call it Gulf of America only in this country. Mm-hmm. So then if you search it outside, so it's like, it's a little more complicated. It's a dumb thing to hang your hat on.
Why does he care about it when the prices are going up on eggs? Why does it focus on eggs?
Because arguably, in addition...
I'm pretty sure he's focusing on all that. And by finding a lot of the fraud and the wasteful spending money, getting the farmers back where they need to be, will definitely help with the prices. And I just heard him in a press conference today talking about he's going to help out the farmers a lot. And I remember when Trump was in office the first term, he helped out the farmers a lot. So I'm pretty sure he's going to do the same thing this term.
Yeah. I hope so.
addition
know
to the
so.
bird flu, he's the reason it's going up.
Yeah.
He'd much rather focus on renaming.
No,
Inflation
people
is
did
going
not
up,
vote.
everyone.
People did not.
This man been focused on so many millions of things since he's been in office. He has not been focusing on that name.
Yeah.
He's been focused on a lot of stuff. Just that name is just one of them. And it's something that he said weeks ago that he was going to do. He had like, this just came out of nowhere. Like, he didn't make the announcement that he was going
Yeah,
to change
like
the
he
name.
just had an epiphany. He was like, you know what? I'm changing that today.
I'm gonna
Like,
put all my eggs into this basket of changing this name. It's definitely not what happened. Before we got with the video, if you didn't like, subscribe, or leave a comment, make sure you do that. Until our next video, it's Tremaine Jones,
it's Lamar Wilson.
and we out.